Today, we're going to get into the real building blocks of the English language. And I'm not just talking about words, I mean the actual architectural blueprint behind every single sentence you write.
So, have you ever wondered what really separates a good sentence from a truly great one? Is it just about using fancy words? Well, not really. The real secret, the thing that gives sentences their power, lies a little deeper.
You see, it's all in the architecture. Think about it like you're building a house. To make it strong and beautiful, you have to understand its core components. And for sentences, the two most important parts are clauses and phrases. So here's our plan. We'll start with those two basic building blocks. Then we'll get to know clauses, and after that, the whole world of phrases. We'll see how to put them together to build better sentences, and I'll leave you with a super simple toolkit to wrap it all up. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's lay the foundation. Literally every part of a sentence is either a clause or a phrase. And trust me, understanding this one little difference is the master key to everything else we're going to talk about. Here it is, the simple test. When you look at a bunch of words, just ask yourself this. Does it have both a subject, who or what is doing the action, and a verb, the action itself? If the answer is yes, you've got yourself a clause. That's the core of the sentence. If not, it's a phrase, just a supporting piece. This one question changes everything. Let's look at a clause in action. She runs every morning. We've got our subject, she, and we've got our verb, runs. See how that's a complete little unit of action? That's the main structural beam of our sentence. Now compare that to a phrase like, in the morning. Who's doing what? We have no idea. There's no subject-verb team here. Sure, it adds some information, but it can't possibly stand on its own. It's like a decorative window, not a load-bearing wall. All right, so now that we know how to spot a clause, let's zoom in a bit, because it turns out there are two main types, and they play very different roles in our sentence architecture. This chart lays out the difference perfectly. Now notice how both types have a subject and a verb. That's not the differentiator. The real test is that complete thought column. Does it make sense all by itself? That's what separates the strong from the needy. First up, the independent clause. This is the star of the show, the main frame of your entire building. The sun is shining. It's got a subject, sun, a verb, is shining, and yeah, it expresses a complete idea. It doesn't need any help. It is a full sentence. And then we have the dependent clause. Now, this one has a subject, it, and a verb, was raining, but it kind of leaves you hanging, doesn't it? Although it was raining, what happened? It often starts with a word like although or because, which basically signals that it's waiting for more information. It just can't stand alone. And here's how they work together beautifully. I stayed home. That's our strong, independent clause. A complete thought. But the second part, because I was tired, well, that's dependent. It needs the first part to make any sense at all. It's there to explain why I stayed home. Okay, let's switch gears and move over to the world of phrases. If clauses are the foundation and the frame of our house, then phrases are all the finishing touches, the paint, the furniture, all the details that add personality and meaning. You see prepositional phrases literally everywhere. They start with words like in, on, with, or after, and they usually tell you where, when, or how something is happening. Think of them as adding that extra layer of color and context. Now, things can get a little tricky with phrases that start with ing words. I get it. But here's the simple trick. Just look at its job in the sentence. In running every morning keeps me fit, the whole phrase running every morning is the subject of the sentence. It's acting like a noun. But in the other one, burning brightly, the candle lit the room, that phrase burning brightly is describing the candle. So it's acting like an adjective. See the difference? It's all about the job it's doing. And just like a construction crew has electricians and plumbers and painters, different phrases have different jobs. Some act as nouns, others as adjectives to describe things, some as adverbs to modify actions, and some even help out the main verb. Each one has a very specific role to play. Now, there are plenty of other types out there, like noun phrases or verb phrases, but don't worry about memorizing every single label. The big idea here is just to see that they're all groups of words missing that subject-verb pair, and they're all designed to do one specific job within the larger sentence. Okay, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty and see how this all works in practice. We're going to take a real sentence, deconstruct it, and see if we can identify all its architectural parts.
Here's the simple process you can always follow. First, just read the whole sentence. Next, hunt for that core subject and verb pair. Once you find it, you've found your main clause. From there, you just look at what's left over and figure out what job that phrase is doing. It's kind of like taking apart an engine just to see how all the pieces fit together.
All right, let's wrap this up by putting the most powerful tools right into your hands. This is your master key for looking at any sentence you ever come across.
For a second, just forget all the complicated terminology. I mean it. It all boils down to just two simple questions. If you can answer these two, you are totally in control. First, the most important one. Does this group of words have both a subject and a verb? Your answer immediately tells you if you're looking at a structural clause or just a decorative phrase. It's that first crucial cut. And then, if you found a clause, you just ask question number 2. Does it express a complete thought? If it can stand on its own 2 feet, it's independent, the main structure. If it feels incomplete, it's dependent. And that's really all you need to know. By really understanding these building blocks, you're no longer just putting words on a page. You're an architect. You can build sentences that aren't just correct, but are actually strong, elegant, and crystal clear. So now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?